Well, this is my fourth effort at trying to make this video. I'm trying to make better quality videos, but my video editing software kept screwing up. So I'm back to using this, live thing. Um, yeah, this is a good subject, but yeah, no one's going to like you for it. Um, for me personally, um, the logic seems kind of simple. I mean, if you're an atheist and you don't believe in God and you don't believe in, you know, humanism in the sense of, humans are innately superior for some reason, beyond, their intellect. Um, yeah, we were animals. A few thousand years ago, we were animals. And if you saw one of us, eating bugs, even like 100,000 years ago, in the wild, you wouldn't think any more of us than any other animal. I mean, we weren't too damn impressive, scratching our asses and eating bugs. So, I couldn't justify um, farming retarded humans, and that's basically what animals are. They're just retarded humans. I mean, they can feel and they have emotions. The only thing they can't do is read and write Shakespeare. So I'm going to take points off for that. Um, Not when it comes to life, death, and concern for welfare. So that's ethically the evolution of my conversion to being a vegetarian. I mean, I realized that I really have no business eating other animals, um, so I stopped doing it. Other conscious animals, and so obviously there's a line you got to draw. I mean, microbes really don't worry me. Um, and insects, I guess. But see, that's, you could sort of argue what's going on in their little heads. So the other side of it is the political side, so I'll get to that. I mean, I want to try to keep this, under 10 minutes, um, or less maybe. Uh, you know, Politically, I guess I can't go for a lot of the animal rights activist stuff just because I think we have the obligation to persuade people. I believe in government by consensus. So I mean, unless we can get like 60 or 70% of the people to believe what we believe, we really have no business imposing any new morality slash ethics, on the rest of society. And if we all decide we have a right to draw attention to ourselves by screwing with other people's lives, civil society isn't going to work. So, as much as I understand aggressive behavior in defense of victims, I can't defend it. So, I guess the only issue that makes this really tough is the animal testing issue, because it's not a personal thing. It's not, you know, that's, as a society we're doing that. So in a sense, the meat eaters are forcing us along on that one, and that's really not fair. Because that's just gratuitous. I mean, to deny the suffering we're causing in the name of preventing suffering is just, human suffering. That's just not right. But anyway, so it really is, to me, it's a logical conclusion that you're going to get to. You can avoid it, um, without having some kind of godlike perception of human importance. I mean, you really have to overinflate the meaning of our existence to find no meaning or lesser meaning or sufficiently lesser meaning in recognizing the rights of animals. And it's not so much a right to life, it's a right not to be, you know, enslaved or farmed, um, living a miserable life, um, for our convenience. I mean, just we can't justify doing that. I mean, nature absolutely sucks. I mean, right now there's animals eating each other, all kind of carnage, and so people get, it's hard for people to understand why we have to be more careful than nature. I mean, that's the standard they apply. It's almost like, well, because nature sucks, we can suck. And it's an argument. What are you going to say? You can't say anything to it. You can't argue with it, because it has to do with, a made-up perception of human importance. I can't, all I can do is argue that we don't really have a right to justify our behavior using nature as the standard. I mean, nature is crude, ignorant forces. We have a brain, and if we're going to act like retards, it's almost like, well, then maybe we should farm ourselves. Maybe we should just farm human retards and use them as we wish. And then we could sit there and rationalize that kind of society. But in some ways, we do that anyway. I mean, we've created systems that, ruin people, they ruin animals. It's a very consumption. It's all about, undisciplined consumption. This society has a big problem with that. And all people do. We're all guilty of it. We're all seduced. We all have want, and we're driven by it. And but this is one of those, this is a place where intellectually we can draw a line and say, wait a minute, we can want it, but we really aren't entitled to it. And I think, for the higher mammals and such, we have an obligation to them. And it almost irritates me, it's like people save whales, right? I mean, this is one of these animal rights things, right? They save whales, but what are they saving them for? We live in a consumption society, and so whales will become, if you save them from extinction, all they'll be is farmed. We'll go out and we'll harvest them. And I mean, if I was a whale, I really don't think I'd feel great about the prospects that, oh yes, you let me live, but every year I have a 1 in 3 or 4 chance of you sticking in a harpoon in my wife or my kid. What kind of life is that? I mean, would you want to live with that sword hanging over your head? Who would? I mean, that's the thing. It's just, you've got to recognize that if we're saving things for again, I mean, they're saving things just because they want to be able to look at them. So they're doing the same thing. They're not doing it for the animal. They're not doing what's the best interest of the animal. They're doing what's in their own best interests. Because it isn't in a whale's best interest as a species to survive if we're just going to exploit them. It really isn't. I mean, would you want that? Would you want an alien culture to come here, from outer space or whatever, and farm us? And would you feel like, oh, what a great life we have here? They provide for us, and they do this, and they do that, and all they do, all they ask for in return is the right to fuck us over, every few years, and we get to have a nice short lifespan, and what the hell? We'd all fight against that. We'd reject that. So anyway, there. See, I kept it under something anyway. So sloppy video, messy, whatever. It's probably got all kinds of little freezes in it and other stuff, but it was a long day, and I'll do better next time.